Welcome to this week's property hints, tips and advice video, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Alan Bryant of Elite Security Solutions for an extremely hot topic on garage and shed security. So the topic we're going to be discussing today is the theft of bikes and obviously how people get into sheds and garages, which is a hot topic at the moment.
It most certainly is. You've only got to look at social media to see the mountains of posts regarding bikes and other tools and that kind of thing that are obviously taken from sheds and garages.
So today we're going to have a quick look at a shed and a garage. You're going to point out some of the weak points for us and then also let us know how they can be upgraded. And then also after that, for those that have got really expensive bikes and want to upgrade their full security around their house and their garage, we're going to go back to your office and have a look at home intruder alarms and CCTV.
Yep.
Perfect. So I don't think it will come to a surprise to anyone that sheds are quite easy to break into. But the first thing we're going to look at is, and this is a prime example of how not to do it, hasp and staple.
Yeah, hasp and staple, and this is a prime example. I would say most sheds are fixed or secured in such a way. This particular one's got a couple of screws in it, and it's not particularly of any real
It's a bit
substantial. No, yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't take too much to prise that off. So either bolting that through completely or putting some serious screws in there would certainly help. Yep. But certainly an upgrade to that hasp and staple would be a good idea.
Yeah, hardened steel.
Hardened steel.
Yep.
And just a bit more robust and more substantial. Yeah.
And on the same note, we can see it here, that padlock. I mean, I reckon I could probably snap that off in my hand if I really tried.
Yeah, I'd like to say we put that there as a joke, but we really didn't. So, yes, you could probably prise that open with a penknife or whatever. Yeah. So an upgrade to that, and you know, why would you put hardened steel hasp and staple on there and then leave that?
Yeah.
So upgrading the whole thing as one. That would be a good idea.
Absolutely. The next thing we're going to look at, and again we're in the right place for it, are these hinges.
Yeah, what can we say about this? Very, very lightweight hinges. In this case, 6 screws to undo would turn these 2 doors into one door.
Yep, and away you go.
And away you go.
Yeah. Forget
about the hasp and staple and the upgraded padlock. That, you know, this is not going to do anything. So replacing these screws for security screws would be a good idea, and again upgrading those hinges would be certainly a good idea.
And then the final thing we're going to look at, not on this shed as an example, but a lot of them do, is just a clear perspex window.
Yeah, again, if you've got perspex on the side of a shed like this, easily pushed in. If it's glass, again, it could be broken, but they're only really going to break in if they can see what's inside. So putting some film on there would be definitely a good idea, or in the case of a small shed like this, very often it's worth just boarding it up.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
So that's the last thing on the shed, so let's going to go have a look at a garage, aren't we?
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So I think most people think that because a garage is a permanent structure, it's going to be more secure than a shed. But actually, these have got a few weak points as well. And the first one we're going to look at is the up and over door, isn't it?
Yep, standard up and over door for brick garage. Most people that have got these have got an up and over door. They are absolutely fine for keeping the weather out and day-to-day use. However, they do have a number of weaknesses.
Yep.
Obviously, the construction of these is quite a thin tin material, so quite easily bent.
Yeah.
So anywhere it is fixed can be pulled out of position to enable the door to be pulled up. So a good idea with these doors can often be to fix an extra anchor point at the bottom on the outside, or if possible, and you've got a personnel door as well, you can put something on the inside, some additional rods to fix it in several places.
Yeah. So just some slide bolts.
Slide bolts.
Yeah.
Just to keep it locked in position.
Okay. So there are 2 things on this side which are great examples of potential weak points. First of all, we're going to have a look at the window.
Yep. Okay. I mean, from this point of view, it's not too bad, this window. The glass that's fitted into this is obscured, so you can't necessarily see exactly what's in there, albeit if you do have something close to the window, you will be able to tell what's there. So my advice to anybody would be to either cover that completely or put some film on there to obscure any view through the window.
Yep. And the other one obviously is the PVC door. Now we know for a fact that this one is reinforced, but a lot of them don't have that, do they?
No, absolutely. Most of these doors are just constructed of 2 pieces of plastic with some styrofoam insulation.
Yep. And
obviously that doesn't offer you any structural strength. So they can be reinforced. So contacting your window company, they can sort that out for you. It does make a big difference if you reinforce it.
So the final one that took me by surprise until our neighbours had this issue is that people can actually gain access through the roof on a concrete tile roof.
Yeah, it sounds extreme, and it is extreme, so it's not something that's going to happen to most people. But obviously if you have expensive items and people get to know that you've got a bike in your garage that's £4,000 or £5,000 upwards, then they're going to do anything that they can to get in there. It's not that difficult to get into a tiled roof. Sliding the tiles up,
yep.
And just popping off some of the lats is enough to just get to pull a bike out of there, or even just to gain entry and then come out through a personnel door or the front up and over door.
Yeah. So what can people do to make that more secure if they've got expensive bikes? Obviously we wouldn't be recommending this to everyone.
Yeah, from that point of view, you can install a mesh which goes on the inside. So if they do slide the tile up, they've still got a steel mesh to get through. Yep. As I said, it's not for everyone, but that's quite a cost-effective way to do that.
Yep. So a couple of other things that people need to consider are how easy is it to get in the garden. So obviously, if there's no gates or anything, people can just walk up. That's not ideal. If you have got a gate, just make sure it's securely padlocked, like we showed with the Hasman staple and padlock earlier. The other thing is how to secure bikes, expensive bikes within the garage. Now clearly we can get 2 things. We can get a ground anchor in there, or you can get a wall anchor, both of which give you the opportunity to lock up the bikes. Alternatively, if you don't have anything like that, if you've got 2 or 3 bikes, just make sure they're locked together with a couple of D-locks. And again, that's just going to make things more difficult for people. So before we pop to your offices to have a look at the alarms and CCTV, one thing that this garage does also have, which is a great deterrent, is the security light just above us.
Yep, burglars really don't like light.
No.
A burglar will go out of their way to go somewhere where they're not going to be illuminated.
Perfect. Right, let's go.
Let's go.
So I'm back with Alan at his office, and he's going to talk us through the burglar alarm systems that you can see on the wall behind us. So tell us a little bit about them.
Yep, the system you can see in front of you is a fully wireless system. So wireless peripherals, movement detection, we've got door contact, wireless key fobs, and the other thing with these systems that you can add on are external peripherals. So this is a new product. This is an external contact that you could fit to a gate, for instance, so that if somebody did open one of your external gates, you can get a notification to say that that's been triggered long before anybody does actually get to your garage or your
really
shed.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, in order for that to work properly, you can then add on an app onto your phone, so you get the notification directly to your phone. So wherever you are, you will know that somebody's opened that gate. The other good thing with that is that those notifications are very specific, so it will tell you which detector is activated. So if it is a shed or a garage, or if it were your home, whatever, it will tell you which sensor is activated, so you can do something about it and direct the relevant people to wherever that might be.
Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about are CCTV cameras, and there's a nice little array above us. So tell us a little bit more about them.
Yep, this is a small selection of the cameras that we install. We're obviously a bespoke service, so one camera doesn't fit all installations. No. We do a site visit to find out what the customer actually requires and then work that around them. But the cameras that you can see above are mainly what we call colour view cameras, so that'll give you a full colour image 24 hours a day in really challenging conditions. The systems that we install also include a full range of analytics to provide notifications in the event of motion detection, line crossing, and vehicle detection.
So one of the things that I thought was really clever when we saw your demo the other week is that you can literally look on the screen, you can draw a line wherever you want, And as soon as someone walks over that line, it automatically knows and it starts sending notifications out. It's insanely clever, isn't it?
Absolutely. You also have the ability to record face detection. So this is not face recognition,
no,
but it will record when the system sees a face,
yep.
so that can be referred back to. But obviously the line crossing detection which we use just gives you that advance warning. So if you, for instance, had a line drawn across the end of your driveway and somebody steps over that, that gives you maybe a minute before they actually would get to where they might be trying to steal your bike.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming in. I really appreciate your time and coming out and about and doing this video. If anyone wants to get in contact with you, I'll put obviously all your contact details on the screen, and you'll go out and do a home check survey thing, won't you?
Yeah, we provide a free site survey and advice when we get there on many aspects of security. Yeah, not just what we're there for as such. So please give us a call. Fantastic.
And we are going to have you back to do a more in-depth one about home security, alarm systems and CCTV, just a proper in-depth one in the future. So thank you very much and look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Cheers.